Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay. Today we're going to be doing all the swatches of the new Bite Beauty Power Move Creamy Matte Lip Crayons. Every single shade here I'm going to swatch for you guys. Before they sent this to me, I had no idea I was getting this package. I did actually purchase one on my own that I used in my review of the foundation. I will link that foundation review up there if you're interested in that. But I did purchase one on my own, and I really enjoyed the formula of it, so I was so excited to get this, and I wanted to swatch everyone for you guys because when I was purchasing my own, I was looking for swatches online, and there wasn't really a lot of lip swatches besides the ones that are on Sephora. So I thought I would help you guys out. I hope you find this video helpful and enjoy it. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, but let's get into it. So a little bit of info about these before I get started on the swatches. They're called their new Power Move Creamy Matte Lip Crayons. Bite Beauty sort of got rid of all of their products essentially, and they rebranded and are releasing new products. They have the new complexion products along with this lip crayon, which is their first new lip launch. This little card here says vivid color, precise application, and a comfortable matte finish that can keep up with you. Comes in 20 shades and is $24. I'm just gonna swatch these in the order that they are now because they are already sort of categorized together. I will put the shade names on the screen, and then I'll also tell you guys the shade description as I'm putting them on. The first shade I have here is called Amaretto, and it's described as a honey nude. So here is Amaretto on my lips. I think this is a gorgeous color. It is more of that neutral warm type of nude. I think it would suit a lot of different skin tones. It's not too warm so it doesn't pull super peachy. I think this is a really gorgeous universal shade. Next up we have the shade Leche, which is a pink nude. Here is Leche on my lips. Definitely a more pink nude as described. If you like your nudes on the pink side, you would really love this shade. Similar to Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, it's just a really nice, I think, universal pink nude. Next up we have Sugarcane, a pale dusty rose. You have a sharpener, by the way. I just figured that out. That's cool. I do like how they apply when they're freshly sharp. You can get a nice lip line edge. Here's Sugarcane on the lips. Definitely pulls very cool toned. So if you're looking for a cool tone pink, this would be for you. I don't think it's too cool. Doesn't make my teeth look too yellow. I think it's a nice, not too cool, but on the cooler side pink. How many times am I gonna say cool pink? A million. Next is the shade Cava, which I believe is from their old collection. I think a couple of these shades are repeat shades, and this is described as a lilac beige. Is Cava. I think this is a super interesting color. Definitely very cool tone, but I think it has just the right amount of sort of purpleness to it to not completely wash me out. Really interesting color. So yeah, that was Cava. Next up we have Hard Cider, which is a cool medium brown. Here is Hard Cider. I love this shade. I think it's a gorgeous. I think it's gorgeous. I think this is a gorgeous deep shade if you have fair skin like me. If you do have a medium to deeper skin tone, this would be a gorgeous, more nude shade. I really like the undertone. It is a little bit, it's a perfect neutral tone, honestly. I don't really think it pulls warm or cool. Next we have Calvados, a spiced toffee. I think this shade is really pretty. Not something I would typically go for, but I think it has the perfect amount of warmth to it without being too peachy or just weird looking on my skin tone. I think this is a really gorgeous color, definitely toffee-ish. Next shade we have is Pastille in Antique Rose. I never know what that means when it's like antique rose description. Like, what does an antique rose look like? Just a dead rose. Okay, this shade is a really pretty purple. I think it's still relatively wearable. This one, I'm not sure if it's this specific shade. I just feel like it wasn't as pigmented as the rest of the ones that I've tried so far. Could just be me, but I just noticed it took a couple more layers to get full opaqueness with this one. Next up we have Glace. This is the one I actually purchased on my own, and it's described as a dusty mauve. Mauve? I usually say mauve. I don't know why I say mauve. So the shade I really love. I think it is a nice purple without being too sort of vivid. It's just very wearable, especially if you have fair light skin like me. I think it's just the perfect amount of deepness. If you have a medium to deeper skin tone, this is obviously going to show up a lot lighter on you, but I think the tone on this is just A+. Next is Nonino, a rosy mauve. Okay, so I think the shade is definitely on that more pinkish side of mauve. It does have that purpliness to it, but yeah, definitely more pink, really pretty. This one is actually sold out online at the moment, but let's move on. Next is Honeycrisp, a coral pink. The shade is very bright, not something I would usually go for. Doesn't make the teeth look the best, but if you have super white teeth, you might like this. Very bright, fun, classic coral summery shade. Next up is Tatin, a rose pink. The shade, again, a very bright pink, more on that neutral slash warmish side. Doesn't make my teeth look as yellow as the coral pink, but definitely still very bright, classic pink. Next is Stinger, an electric coral. Alright, this shade is certainly electric. It's super neon. I'm actually really impressed with the opacity of this one. It went on with one coat to have very full coverage on the lips. Super comfortable, very bright if you're into that. Next up we have Negroni, which is candy apple. Alright, very self-explanatory shade, classic candy apple red, really gorgeous. Again, impressed with the opacity of this one. Next is Red Velvet, a rich, deep red. Alright, I think this shade is stunning, really gorgeous, deep red, as described. This one I noticed they do have swatches like online of what they look like, but the lightest skin tone still isn't like as light as me, so it looks a little bit different than it looks on me right now. So for reference, if you're looking at those, I'm like a couple shades lighter than the lightest person in that. Next up is Brandy, a deep wine rose. Alright, the shade is very gorgeous as well. Classic, berry tone, you know the deal. Now we have Pavlova, a rich raspberry. Sort of like that last shade, a little bit deeper, classic berry tone. Alright, so that last one did stain my lips. Next is Acai Smash, a rich orchid. Orchid. Here she is. I think this one is so pretty. It's like a really cool toned purple, super stunning. next. Now we have Cognac, a dark brown. Here's Cognac, really gorgeous, very 90s vibe, super vampy on me. If you have a deeper skin tone, I think this is gonna look even better on you. But yeah, this one's really pretty. Love it. Now we have Midnight Rye, a rich, deep brown. Looks like I have a mustache. Alright, here's that shade. It got a little bit messy. That's alright. Very, very deep and rich brown. Alright, and finally, the very last shade is Damsen. I hope I'm saying these right. I probably are not. Probably are not. That didn't even make sense. But this is called a Blackened Plum. And finally, that is the very last shade, super deep purple. Not really as deep as the dark brown though. I think this is very vampy, very Halloween. If you're into that type of vibe, you'd like this. But let me wipe this one off. I'll put on a different one and then I'll do like a wrap up of my thoughts on these. Alright guys, those were all 20 swatches of the lip crayons. I put Leche, I believe, back on. I hope you guys have found this video helpful. My lips feel like they're gonna fall off, but hopefully for a good cause. Give this video a thumbs up if you did find it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love for you to join me. But anyway, let me go ahead and talk to you a little bit about the formula. I really enjoy the formula of these. I don't really understand why they call them a matte formula. I do understand that they're a creamy matte, but I feel like they definitely have more of a satin finish. I wouldn't say it's a super satin finish, but it's sort of in between. I would definitely call this a satin, creamy matte. Satin, is that the same thing? I don't know. I just feel like I would bring that up. But overall, I feel like with all the colors, most of them were really opaque, smooth to apply. I think they went on really easily because they are a crayon. You can get a nice sharp line, and you do get the sharpener in the end if you wanted to sharpen them up. In terms of how they smell, they have a very fruity, to me, almost like a bubblegummy smell slash taste. Like if you went to the dentist and they had bubblegum gloves. I don't know if you guys had that when you were a kid. It kind of reminds me of that, but just not as fragrant. I don't think it's too powerful or strong. I really don't notice it that much. It just has a very light, fruity scent. So yeah, that was about everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.